yesterday, and I love Dion's tweet right after it. He said we got destroyed today.
Yeah.
Good. Good on Oregon. Way to go. We still believe, and we're going to be back to play ball next week.
There you go.
That's what's up.
All right, here we go. Let's
do it.
Here's the attack or defend, right? So call it in the air, attack or defend.
Defend. Sorry.
So it is a defend. So you get to choose.
Awesome. I will defend.
All right. So I will go on the attack. Here we go. Well, immediately I will call it TTT.
110.
So I got 120.
Nice. That is a very rare burglar up against an epic crocodile.
Yep. So I'll take one of each. Took out one of your very rares. You love to see that. Go ahead.
I challenge Aura.
Challenge Aura. All right. I will decline and challenge Stamina.
I accept. 24.
24. So that was a very rare Sweet Swan against whatever you had. The Zealous Zombie.
A core zombie.
Stays on you. Oh, that was 2 stamina to the tieback.
Correct. I'll start with challenging Stamina.
Decline. Go Aura.
Decline, go Skill.
Go Total. You got 72. Nice.
73.
Countable Ant versus the Harpic. Harpic goes down. Or Harpic wins, rather. So you got 2, 1, 1, and 1. Cool. This thing used to go higher, actually. Give me 1 sec.
Sure.
I'm not getting enough of the board.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't like how that looks. That's better. Okay. I'm just going to leave it right there for my graveyard. Okay. I feel better about that. And then my attack.
Correct.
I will attack Stamina.
I'm going to accept because I got 24s across the board.
I like your idea. I got 25. That was Stamina. And then your attack.
I'm just going to call it TTT.
All right. Cool. So I got a 20, 25, 24, 22, total of 71. I got smacked.
I got a 23, 23,
Ooh,
23.
Check this out. I got
a total of 86.
I got this from the Fanatics Live. I got the Gritty Ghost.
Nice.
Yeah, so those of you on this side, I got the Gritty Ghost rookie card slabbed off of their Fanatics Live.
That's very awesome.
I was pumped about that. I was sitting at my daughter's soccer game, and they were just getting ready to start, and ended up jumping onto that stream and just immediately went and entered the giveaway, and I won, and then my phone died probably 5 minutes later on the stream.
Wow.
So I got lucky big time. All right, my attack. I will attack Stamina.
Decline Aura.
Decline Skill.
Accept. 24.
25.
Ah, the skeleton. Come on.
That was 3 banger.
Moth is not so major against the skeleton.
In every other category, it is. I was
Right.
nervous about the stamina, but I figured, well, what the hell? Let's try. All right, your attack.
Challenge skill.
Decline. Stamina.
Decline aura.
Decline. Total.
71.
90. Fire chicken.
Nice.
The old fire chicken, as Marshawn Lynch would call it.
Right.
Check out. Let's just do it.
How crazy it was that he was hanging out in the VEEFriends booth.
Oh, I know, dude. It was fun. That was cool to see. Very cool to see. Oh, and that is it's my attack. I will attack skill.
Decline. Stamina.
Accept.
25.
24. Man, I was gonna go back to. Well, I'm actually glad that I didn't go clear to total. So you got 2 stamina.
Yeah, that was a very rare panda.
Oh, I got to stay away from stamina now. You got 6 of them over there. Woo! Your attack.
All right. I challenge aura.
Accept. 25.
25.
Yeah. So
A gift goat up against a core Persian.
Yep. The goat on Persian. Love to see it. Your attack.
Let's start with stamina.
Decline. Skill.
Set. 25.
25. Nice. Another skill.
Second tie.
Yeah. Back to back too.
I challenge aura.
Accept. 25.
25.
All right.
I challenge skill.
Decline. Aura.
Accept. 24.
25.
Damn. The Persian came out at a good spot.
2 aura plus the tie bang.
I think that's almost it, right?
Yeah, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I also use TTT. Use. Good. We're good there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So you have 6 in stamina. I have 6 in skill and aura. So this should be an interesting next couple of rounds. I challenge skill.
Decline. Stamina.
Accept.
24.
25.
And that is frustrating.
The lemur on eel. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Your attack.
I challenge stamina.
No way, sir. Aura.
Nope. Skill.
Accept.
25.
24. I'd rather give it to you there than one each. So you got 3.
I understand.
I had to stay away from it. I couldn't help it. All right.
So I've got a little bit of alpha I want to talk about before we end, but let's finish this up first.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to lose your thought, what do you think? What are you thinking about?
I haven't been in a lot of the matches, but I've been wondering a lot about verbiage. I love words so much.
Uh-huh.
And I noticed this in my match with IJ Robb at the first tournament. There's a really odd thing you can do that's very similar to poker, where you say, let's start with.
Uh-huh.
Which gives the implication to the other person psychologically that you don't intend to fight on that hill. And I just wonder how many like compete and collect players are thinking about, like, no, let's move to this. Like, because you just have so few words you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to say any. Like, Thought Wrong and RJ are really good at not saying anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, I try and use as minimal language as possible, but I like to talk in between the turns. So as I give out something, I'll actually say some things just to like get people thinking, to see what their reactions are. There's my alpha. I like to do that, and I don't like what you were just saying. Is I would never say let's start with.
Yeah.
Because the intention is to then move. Or I would say it and then use that as a tactic.
Well, and that's more what I meant.
Sure.
Is you can, if you say, let's start with aura, it implies that you don't want to fight on aura.
Yeah.
So so as a tactic, I mean, I don't think it's an alpha as in, oh, hey, do this, everyone. I think it's alpha as in, what is the impact your words are having on how you challenge or how you decline and move to the next?
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
I really like that, and I'll be paying attention much more to some of the players and how they use that language.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Okay, whose turn?
It's my turn, and
Okay.
I will challenge aura.
I will decline and move to stamina.
Decline skill.
25.
25.
That's a heart trooper versus an empathy elephant.
Yep. So I'm out of chips, but doesn't matter because whoever wins that tie pot's going to win. Remains my attack. I challenge stamina.
Accept. 24.
Also 24. Oh, look at that. Alien v. alien. Oh, my goodness. I was like, of all the times for a 24 to pop its little nose up, now, while game's on the line, now we're going to do it.
I wanted to tell you I have lost all of my major matches on 24 across the board cards.
Well, I just added this one in. I'm using rares or very rares of the 24 characters. Is like I'm thinking in that vein at the moment.
Got it.
All right, remains my attack. I will challenge skill.
Accept. 25.
25. Man.
Ninja versus a heart trooper.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go to aura. I would have won on aura. We would have tied on stamina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Still stays my attack. I attack skill.
Decline. Stamina.
Decline. Aura.
Except
24.
tie again.
Yep. Should have went Toto. Total.
Yep.
Sheesh. My attack still. So that was all the beans are over in Aura. So we got 3 of them over there. Doesn't matter. Whoever wins this has enough skill to take it over the top. Let's go. I attack Aura.
I accept Aura. 24.
Yes, 25.
Nice.
The Black Cat versus Kind
The
Warrior.
Black Cat came out.
Oh, at an opportune moment. Love to see it. My goodness. Last card was
And my
red
other,
Heartbreak.
yeah, my last card was Narwhal. Very rare.
So I had you on Toto on that one, but boy, that was a close game. That was a really close game. GG's. You had you introduced a lemur that I've not seen introduced in the decks very much, and a major moth. The major moth and lemur threw me a little bit.
Okay.
It was interesting just to see those characters come out.
Yeah, because the lemur is a 23, 23, 24. So, and it's a total of 70.
Yeah.
And I think I just introduced him because I was putting a deck together last minute. And then the major moth is 24, 24, 23 for a total of 71.
Yeah, and it really matters, I think, with that. The reason why I'm even bringing those 2 cards up is like your strategy with your rares and very rares on these top tier decks is really where I'm at on this conversation. Like, depending on which characters you end up going rare, very rare with, and how you attribute your rarity points. Like right now, I'm running the epic and very rare as like my TTT cards. And now that moves me, because I was running more very rares, but I don't have like these top tier characters in very rare. So now I have these 3 rares to play with. So I got the 73, 73, and 72 Fire Chicken. And then you have the Gift Goat as well, but that doesn't count on your rarity points. So like there's my rarity points. And that's
so the only move that I really regret is I didn't put this guy in.
Yeah.
I'm showing for the listeners, I'm showing an epic flamingo.
Well, the gameplay is
with a total of 144.
Yeah, the gameplay is on YouTube as well. So if you're just listening right now, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel, Ron's Roundtable, because you'll be able to see the full getup of the gameplay that we just played. But yeah, that was.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting. The very first game that I brought this epic alligator back, I went up against your very rare. I think it was a Black Cat, wasn't it? Because it was like a 110. I think it was a 110, so I thought that was a Black Cat.
I don't have a Black Cat in this deck.
Oh. Well, what was the very rare that I came out? Because I think it was a 110. That would have had to been...
It was the Befuddled Burglar.
Oh, okay. What was that, 108 or 109?
No, the Burglar is 110.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, I was like, holy crap. So it was the very first time that I brought out, well, since actually for a while there, I wasn't playing an epic. But now that I brought it back and I went up against a very rare, like it just solidifies my stance.
Yeah.
Because that gives me, it's just tough.
It's pulling up Ron Swanson and his roundtable in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, it should be just do the search for channel, Ron's Roundtable. And I was really happy now that I have that, because we stream on YouTube, of course, but we also have the podcast that we go on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, all those places. And any place that you go to and you type in Ron's Roundtable, for whatever reason, it's like the only thing that pops up. It's really cool. That didn't happen with my last podcast.
Awesome. Okay. Love that. All right. Yeah, I'm here. Very cool.
I appreciate you, brother.
So you'll just look. That's your voice on your voice.
That's
yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go through and listen to some and maybe be better prepared next time. But
well, you're welcome back anytime. So again, I appreciate you, and anytime that you want to come back on, always welcome. Anything that you'd like to get across to the listeners?
I think just follow your passion. If you're trying to do something as a business, do it as a business, but remember that the business is going to be so impacted by your passion. I just can't imagine how many PSA 10 slowpokes I would have bought at VCon if there had been one.
Yep. I understand. I'm a big fan of Snorlax. So that's another one that a lot of people don't see. You don't see it graded much, but Snorlax is one of my characters. I'm big on. And obviously my main character, Sentimental Salamander, nobody collects those. So anybody out there that's listening to this, if you see an epic Salamander pulled or a 1-of-1, hit me up. I'm a buyer. So all right, guys.
Very good.
Until next time.
Thanks so much, Ron.
Enjoy the journey and keep building those decks. Enjoy.
Look at that. Look at that.
This was so from the big event, man.
I was very proud of that, man. Like, seriously. Like, legitimately.
You should have been.
I mean, I thought it would be fine. I didn't really think it was going to be, like, just the energy that was there the whole time. I was so proud of how all that played out. Really, really.
No, you definitely should have been. It was a beautiful event, and I thought the outcome was just fantastic. The triple Series 1 box break. I mean, all the above it was so much fun. It was so memorable. And I think that's the coolest part is you created a ton of memories for people.
Yes. All right, hold on. Have that.
You said that desk makes me feel overwhelmed. That's hilarious. It's my desk that I do a lot of my work at too, so it's a constant reminder of like all of the traits and to maintain those traits as I go throughout my day too.
Respect that.
You know what I mean?
I can respect that. All right.
Just like the workplace warriors that he was talking about back in the day that he had an idea on. You know, these are the workplace warriors. But they're cartoons. And I walk through a lot of different offices in my day to day where I'm going to my customers and I see all their desks and they all have something on there, whether it's a Garfield or a Mickey Mouse or a Harry Potter or name the thing. There's always like a poster or something sitting there to remind them about like their detachment hobby. I see it all the time.
That's actually a great point. That's a great point you make. A reminder of their detachment hobby.
Yeah, like the thing that they look forward to. Their football team, their baseball team. Like those are detachment things that I think that is important for our mental health is like if you're nose to the grindstone 110% of the day, it's like, bro, like chill out. Chill out.
But it's also like it's like you know those people who you meet someone and they're like yelling yelling stuff about them. Like you know everything about them within 5 minutes. That type of person.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what this stuff is. When you're like at work or something like that, you're pulled away from your sort of deeper emotional connection to yourself. So you're right. Having those things is like this. But I have this stuff too.
Yeah.
Like this is me. You know, that's that sort of thing.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's what I have to do every time too. Because the other day I was playing with Dale and the guys, and we were using the boost cards, and I accidentally had 21 cards and 2 aliens. I was like, listen, if I were gonna really cheat, why would I put 2 aliens in here? They were giving me so much shit for it. I was like, shut up.
You know, this is my problem. Is I graded all of my black cats.
Good. Perfect.
So
you don't have any then.
Get out of here. I have my full set right here. I can just go in and pull it out. It's fine. We're fine.
I have an extra black cat. I'm getting graded as well.
Where is it?
I have a Gem Mint 10 coming as well with that perfect Persian cat that I got graded.
Oh, wait, you know it's a Gem Mint?
Yeah, I got it done over at To the Moon. They pulled it on a community box battle. I was fighting Peepaw, and he hit I think it was a Driven Dragon maybe, and then I hit that perfect Persian. It was like back to back.
Wow.
And then they got it graded for me, and it came back a Gem Mint 10.
That's huge.
Right?
That's very big, yeah. All right, I have one more card, and I'm good to go.
Oh, good, man.
It is.
And the black cat that I have, look at all these spectacular, or all these super stickers. This is an insane amount of super stickers.
I'll tell you what, I opened a few for myself. I got the full set except for the.
Oh shit, there's more. Hang on.
Let me make sure. 1, 2.
Yeah, here's the black cat that I want to get graded. It looks really good.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Well, don't get a 10. I want to have a pop 1, so don't get a 10.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any white
I got my
corners, nothing.
My very rare black cat grading a 10. That was insane. Like, that's honestly one of those cards where, like, I want to keep it forever because I think the black cats will be something huge 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, man, that could be a huge, I don't know, a huge moneymaker. You know what I mean? And there's a piece of me that's like, I want to sell some more shit so I need more boxes. I want to promote the stream. And so that's my other big thing. Like, I want to build, there's not much more I want in my collection. Like, for example, I have a Diamond Admiral CGC9 and a Diamond Ape CGC9. I plan to sell those.
Yeah.
Right. Purely because yeah, they're cool, but like that's not my identity with these collectibles. Right. Those aren't my characters. I don't care. Right. I want to have them because it's cool, but I don't care.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
All right.
I keep getting new characters. That's my problem. I'm like, oh, I like that character now.
Yeah. I try to like keep a top. I have a top 5.
Yeah.
Bison, Hummingbird, Self-Aware Hare, Patient Pig, and Gary B.
Okay.
Those are my top 5.
Gotcha.
Gary B is in there. It's not because I identify at all with it. Not even close. I don't identify with Gary in any possible way, besides being passionate about stuff. But like, I think that's the one character I think is being slept on massively. I think it's going to be just as big as Black Cat.
I think Gary B is going to be like the Mr. DNA of Jurassic Park. Like, I think he's going to be in every single thing, like whispering in people's ears and being the narrator of all of it.
Yep, like that's the whole thing comes up, it's like, "Hey kids, welcome to the Gary V show." VEEFriends. You know, that's 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can just hear that annoying voice already. All right.
Hey, you fuckers! Like, oh, geez.
Yeah. Heads or tails? So obviously CCC is heads, and then the Carson Caramels is going to be tails.
Heads.
Heads.
Yes.
Heads it is. Would you like to attack or defend?
Defend.
All right. I will take the attack.
Look at this bullshit to the moon thing. Come on.
Hey, now. Collaboration, baby. All right. Let's go.
Hold on. I can see it. Put it in the bottom.
We'll go back a little bit.
You want to just start over? Do you want to put that in the bottom or mix it in? Because I saw the character.
Okay. We'll mix it in.
Yeah. I got to be honest, man. Got to have a little integrity.
He's the honest honeybee.
Yeah. Wrong bee. Yeah, the wrong bee is honest.
Yeah, wrong bee is honest. All right. I attack skill.
Accept.
24.
25. Skelly.
Skelly bones. Your attack.
I attack skill.
Accept. 24.
Damn it. 25. Damn it, Ron. I wanted you to go.
All right, so you got 2 skill. I attack aura.
I haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
Last time I played was against Tom when we did the live stream at Comic-Con.
Oh my God, what an amazing event. You guys getting to go on Fanatics Live. I mean, how much better? In the studio.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
Accept.
24.
25.
24.
Oh.
All right, so 1 over there.
Stamina.
Your attack. Decline, aura.
Decline skill.
Go total.
72.
120.
There it is.
All right, 1 of each. Thank goodness, I'm on the board.
On the board, baby.
Woo! Okay. Let's go attack stamina.
Decline skill.
Accept. 25.
25. And we've only seen one of your damn foils. My goodness.
Yeah, baby. No, you see 2.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You see 2.
Can't really. I can't actually see the score.
Yeah, I know.
What do
I told these guys to make these letters or these numbers black. So
Yeah.
you have 1 aura, 2 skill, no stamina. I have 1 of each. And now there's
Okay.
2 in the skill tie bank.
Got it.
My attack. I attack skill.
Oh my god. Do I take it? Do I jump on a risk? Do I take a risk? Oh shit.
Risky business.
I'm gonna. This might be the dumbest move of my life, but I'm gonna accept.
Yeah. 25.
Oh no. But honestly, it's probably the better option. 24.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I guess. No. Well, no, because you would have. Obviously, I would have declined. I would have done anything. You would have declined.
Yeah. If you would
And
have
then
come back at me, I was calling TTT.
Okay. Well,
That-
then there we go.
Yeah, that's
Because I'm saying if that was a core, I could have won. But the problem is you're 2020. I would have said no. I would have said anything. You probably would have accepted though. If it was a core.
On what?
Well, no. If
Oh,
I
yeah,
declined,
yeah. If you
you
would've-
went still.
Yeah, if you would have come back at me, I would have had to accept on whatever you asked.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
talking. So those of you who are not watching on YouTube, check this out. It's a very rare skeleton, is what I have, and Josh has the Kind Warrior. It's a core, which is a 71, and I had obviously. So my stats are 98 total, 20 aura, 25 skill, and 20 stamina. So I came after him. I was on the attack. I came out strong with my 25. If he accepted it, awesome. Now I don't have to waste my TTT. We're probably going to tie. That's what I'm thinking in my head. If he comes back to me and he counters, I'm calling TTT. Like that, there's 2 in the tie bank. I'll get 1 of each. So that's going to put me, at 4 into the skill. So I'm excited about that. But if it were a core, I would have just accepted on that counter from you for sure.
Yeah. So in the end, that was a huge risk on my part, but it actually played out the best it could have played out for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would have gotten the same points on skill plus 2 additional points. So it actually ended up playing out the best for me.
Yeah. So now I have 1 aura, 4 skill, 1 stamina. Both of us still have our TTT.
Yeah.
And now it is your attack.
TTT.
Whew. You gonna take out my goat like that?
Yeah, I got it.
Take out my goat like that?
I missed out. I missed out on. I missed out on my other. I had so many good foils.
Yeah.
That I don't know what's coming up, so I had to use that.
I
So,
understand. I totally understand. All right. It is my attack. I will attack stamina.
Accept.
24.
25.
Nice. You got
Let's
the
go.
eel, baby. All right. Your attack.
What am I at?
You're at 2 aura, 3 skill, 2 stamina. I'm at 1 aura, 4 skill, 1 stamina.
All right. Aura.
Accept. 24.
I attack.
I attack stamina.
I attack.
I attack stamina.
I attack.
Skill.
I attack stamina.
I attack.
Decline.
Skill.
Aura. I attack stamina.
I attack.
72.
Decline.
Aura.
73.
There you go.
Woo!
72.
73.
Nice. There you go. And your attack.
73. My attack still?
Yes.
My attack still?
Yes.
My attack still?
Yes.
Stamina. My attack still?
the font, that should be black. So you can see it better. It's hard to see on your set.
Yeah.
All right. I'm up.
Accept.
23.
24.
Woo! He got me. Nice.
Let's go.
Big one. 1, 2, 3 stamina. You got me the whole way over there. Nice work.
Aura.
Decline stamina.
Decline skill.
We'll go total. 69. What?
Astro.
Nice. You got me, guys. 1, 1, 1. Nice.
Let's go.
All right. My attack.
Okay.
I attack Aura.
Accept.
You still probably got me. 16. You did.
17.
Nice. All right, your attack.
Let's go. I'm feeling good now. I was worried you were gonna show me out.
Hey, man. Sometimes it gets crazy. You could come out hot and then just totally cool off. This game is wild like that.
Sure. Stamina.
Decline skill.
Accept.
18.
23.
Yeah. I couldn't give you any more stamina, so I had to get you away from that somehow. My attack. I attack Aura.
Skill.
Stamina.
Accept.
23.
What do you got? 23.
Nice. Tie. All right, so that's... Oh, man. Next, if you get this... So this was a... Yeah, if you get this, it's a win. My attack. No pressure. I attack skill.
Accept.
19. Oh,
17.
I got him. Oh, that's a huge swing. Huge swing.
My tarantula wasn't gonna do much for me there.
1, 2, 3. No, it wasn't. Okay. All right, we're squared up. So now it's tied on Aura. We both have 2. You have 3 skill. I have 1 skill. You have 4 stamina. I have 3 stamina.
All right.
And you're win the attack.
Skill.
Decline Aura.
Decline stamina.
Accept.
18.
Nice. 23. All right, I'll take 3 over there. My attack.
All right. Now I don't want you to get. I'm gonna stay off the thing.
Yeah, I can win on stamina and total now, so got you right where I want you. I attack skill.
Stamina.
Accept.
22.
25.
Dang.
Got him back. Let's go.
I'm salty now.
Good game. Good game. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too. That was fun. Trusting Tarantula, that really, that's a down character for me now.
That's down.
Pissed off with it.
Yep. Sorry for all of you trusting tarantula holders. You've been attacked. Hey man, is there anything else you'd like to get across to the listeners over here? They're all a bunch of V fam, trying to check out Compete and Collect, and probably coming into VCon. So, anything you'd like to get across to them?
Super excited about what we're building with Compete and Collect and VEEFriends cards. I think everyone can see it. I'm excited to continue to highlight and showcase the gameplay, the current alpha gameplay that we have, as well as future iterations of the game. And other than that, Ron, I just want to say thank you to you. I've been watching from afar a little bit. I know you've been doing real work representing VEEFriends, the VEEFriends community, sharing and talking about VEEFriends cards. And I try to the best of my ability not to take the passion and the enthusiasm and the support that this community has lightly. It's unlike anything else I've ever seen, and I'm just very grateful for what we're building, what we represent, and that we are still very early in the process. You know, we're about to enter year 3, but I'm very, very excited about all things VEEFriends, and I feel like we have a really good line of sight of what we're hoping to achieve in the short term and long term with this company.
Awesome, Andy. Thank you so much for the kind words. And you heard it, guys. The ethos is still strong over there at VEEFriends. All right, until next time, keep building those decks. Stay strong. Enjoy, everybody.
Amazing.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate you, brother.
You too, man.
Hello? Hello? Yo, 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 yo. All right, I think I got that dialed in now. Woo! Right at the nick of time. 10:28. 2 minutes left. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna shut it off on my phone. I need to charge that so whenever I call in later and introduce yet another listening device, yeah, then we'll have to mute that as well, and that's always a lot of fun. Getting set up. Yay, podcasting. Hopefully nothing screws up. All right. This is sort of why you have a team to do a lot of this background stuff for you. But knowing how to do it is, I think, a really important piece of the puzzle whenever you do end up having a team of people, you know what the hell you're talking about. So immerse yourself in the weeds. Yep, we're going to play some compete and collect gameplay. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. Got a couple people tuning in. Chartsy, I see you. Gemma, I see you. Thank you for shouting out on the Twitters. Or the X, whatever we're doing there. Interesting. I can't see in my notifications on X that you've commented, but yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, let's go ahead. I guess I could use camera here. You guys can see my mug on the big screen. It's the same angle both sides, so actually one's a reverse, one's not. That's interesting. That's interesting. Connor should be calling in, and then we're going to be off to the races. Start the recording, and then the gameplay. Yeah, so what if I do this?
My part is working on the daily comic strip and some of the story development. There's some other things going on behind the scenes that I'm super excited about. Of course, we have VCon coming up in August. I assume I'll be there. I assume that I'd love to draw there for you in some capacity. But I don't have any details on that yet. But just know that VCon's coming up. We got some plans for the comics. If you're new to VEEFriends and watching this, there's a collectible trading card game. Compete and collect. So it's a game that you can play, but also the best place to look around and go like, what the heck is VEEFriends? I think is go to eBay and just type VEEFriends and hit like sold items. And you're going to see like so many collectors already. Like there's toys, there's the Squishmallow pillows. I want one of those. I want the hedgehog one. There's all kinds of things out there that are these are the Macy's minis that came out a little while ago. Right now, I'm going to tell you a secret. These are on like clearance at Macy's. So if you're lucky to live in a smaller town like I am, then you can secretly find way more VEEFriends on sale right now. But yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put a pencil topper on. I'm just gonna grab whatever is behind me. Today it's Slaying Slug. So we're gonna throw him on there real quick. These are fun. I feel like a little kid again, you know. The vending machines are out there with these VEEFriends minis, and there's all different types. I can't even really get into it. There's gold and diamond and all the stuff that the kids like. There's ones that smell like bubble gum. It's crazy. It's fun. And yeah, you know, like I thought we're doing a lot of character development behind the scenes with the team. It's fun to think about the characters and the traits as I'm drawing. Like here we have Mojo Mouse. And I think like Mojo is sort of like kind of a version of Style and Swagger, I guess. We have Swaggy Sea Lion that I just showed you earlier. But Mojo is more like confidence.
We'll get started here real back. Molly's just having a little bit of an issue.
Mouse. Kind of like Mighty Mouse. Not like Mighty.
It's good.
Yo, what's up, Connor? How you doing?
Good. I'm just bringing in some card stands. Give me 1 sec.
Yep, all good, man. All good. I just want to get this thing fired up too.
Okay, should be. How's it going, Ron?
Yeah, today is great. This morning's been pretty awesome. I got a decent workout in first thing. I was in the Peloton with this dude, Matt Wilpers. I don't know if you've ever taken a Peloton class, but this guy's like I don't know what he does in his spare time, but he was like a collegiate runner. He coaches running. He's a maniac, and he had me running up a hill at like 6.3 with a 5% incline, and I feel like I was gonna die. And he goes, "This is where you grow. This is where you grow." And I'm like, I don't know if that's where I grow, but this is where I'm at.
That's hilarious. I've done one Peloton class, and I honestly loved it, but I did it during COVID. My sister was doing Peloton a bit, but I haven't done it since. I honestly just enjoyed the competition, like camaraderie part of that, like, and not really, you know, it's just a bike. It's singular motion, and it's good cardio. So I enjoyed that.
I was using the tread. I also have the bike.
Oh, you were on the treadmill. Ooh, that's interesting. I like that a lot. I like running on the treadmill a little bit. Definitely, I do better outside, but I like mixing in on the treadmill. And I would enjoy. We did a class recently, myself and some of the VEEFriends team. And we part of it was like running on a treadmill, and it was like a competition between like the 7 of us there. So it was pretty cool. But that's cool. I didn't know Peloton was cooking up treadmill competition classes like that.
Oh yeah, they are. They have yoga classes. They have strength classes. They got core. I mean, anything you would find at a gym, like personal trainer wise, they have it. It's their jam. Yeah. I do a lot of like hikes on the Peloton tread. It's sort of my day, not off, but
Connor loses. It's not his fault. I built his deck.
Why
to
would
stop
you let
breaking
him?
all of our rares and epics. Connor's got like a core deck. Good luck.
All right, this is solid. What is? All right.
It's good enough.
All right.
It's good. It's good. He says.
I was out and about this morning trying to rally some more card stands to ship out today from the stream on the 14th. It's crazy. All these days blur together when you're like just kind of breaking and doing that,
Yeah, so-
and the whole Vegas trip and everything. But I'm sure we'll get into all
Please,
of that.
I just want to jump into it right now. You've been with the team for less than a year, and you've been all over the globe at this point. I mean, you've been Vegas, you've been Chicago, you've been New York, you've been, I don't know if you were down in Florida. I can't remember. You've been all over the place. Run me through like Super Sticker Day when you were sticking the stickers on the booth sticker on them, and that whole initiation process, like to now. Good God, what has happened?
Yeah,
But
it's
blur.
yeah, man, it's wild. Time flies. It's been truly like such a cool experience getting to be a part of it, and kind of put my fingerprints on the VEEFriends card side of it specifically. Starting obviously with when I first started up, like the stickers was definitely a huge part of it. Like that was right before the nationals, so pre-national, like the plan really was like I was just organizing inventory before like the stickers. So this is like I'm already going off the rails, but pre-stickers was like sorting like just tons of inventory. There's like a picture of it. It's kind of in my profile picture on Instagram. Like there's like just tables of sorted cards like that I literally like I was built for this. Like I know exactly how to go like attack this whole thing, like with my prior like business being within the sports card industry, and understanding like breaking and how to organize all your cards, and even if it's not a break, just like formatting everything so it's laid out properly. But just like something as simple as that, I was just like, and I'm down to do the dirty work. But so that was the first part, was really organizing a ton of inventory. And then immediately before the national was obviously the super stickers were, oh shoot, my camera's falling. I just don't want it to mess up my audio. You can hear me clean like this, right?
Yeah, that's all clean.
Okay. So right before the national, obviously super stickers were and still are a huge initiative within the VEEFriends ecosystem. But the national was really like a cool first go at it for them. So obviously making sure everything was prepped and ready to go in a timely fashion was of essence, and making sure we can get them distributed within the VIP bags, like, and everyone has a good clean experience with getting the stickers, opening it and saying what is VEEFriends, because most of the people within the VIP we could assume aren't within the VEEFriends ecosystem. So it was cool to just see that whole element of getting the cards prepped.
You can't say that this year. You got a ton
100%.
of us being the P. Like there's been so many of the community that are VIP ticket holders ready for Cleveland, ready to go this year. I want to back up and interrupt you real quick because it was VEEFriends' first go round at something like that, and you alluded to this. Like you have a background in this stuff. You have a background in collectibles and card breaking. Like what is like leading up to coming over to VEEFriends? Who were you in the break world? Because you ain't no slouch, okay?
Yeah, no, for sure. Quick background is essentially in 2020, like literally right before COVID, because my birthday's in January 26th. I had a jacket that my mom purchased for me, and at this time I'm working for TB12. I'm a retired Division I athlete due to injury. Essentially, my body was going through things, and I just eventually just the wear and tear of surgery and not feeling the way I wanted to was just too much on me, and I just wanted to make sure I could graduate in 4 years. So I retired after my sophomore year. I get a job at TB12 my senior year. That is going fantastic, but like 3 or 4 months into it, I'm literally having the time of my life, but I'm also like, I want to make more money. I have free time. I'm at college. Like I was never one to like party a lot or like go out a ton. So I was more like hanging in my room, hanging out with some friends, focused on work, focused on graduating, focused on making money. And at this time, I'm also listening to a ton of Gary's content, specifically his podcast, for all sorts of self-help, just business knowledge, marketing knowledge, everything. Because I was a communication student. I love sports. I knew he loved the Jets. I was a Patriots fan, but I resonated with his content, all of it. And it definitely made a lasting impact on myself for sure. And helping me get through some tough times where I was just questioning myself, my abilities. And that's something that that'll be cycles in everyone's life at different times. It can come in waves. So having that voice, having someone with reason, and someone that can really resonate with you and help guide you through times like that is so cool. And that's why I'll always have love for G. And he's a special person in my life and so many other people's lives. But yeah, so he's telling me on this podcast, I'm like, I need to make more money. I know sports really well. I'm a Division I athlete. And I also fancy myself as someone who can evaluate talent. I can evaluate character. I can evaluate what it takes to be a high level athlete. So that was my angle, was like, let me just try and target some guys that I think I can buy and sell. So I literally returned the jacket back. Let's get to close that chapter. So I have a jacket my mom buys for me for Christmas. It doesn't fit. It's a nice jacket. I return it. I have a few dollars. I go, Mom, I'm just going to spend this money on some sports cards. That's what I want to do. And she was like, cool, do whatever you want. And then that turned into me buying some Mitchell Robinson. I could literally pull up my eBay. It was hilarious. The stuff I was buying, I had zero idea what I was doing. Literally no idea in January 2020. Fast forward a few months and COVID really hits, and the world shuts down, obviously, and I have nothing else to do. There's no sports on. And I was like, let me just keep going at cards. And in the spring of 2020, pause. At the same time, I introduced my brother to cards. He bought a ton of singles, a bunch of random stuff. He now works with the company. It was Liam. All three of my brothers ended up getting into cards. I could touch on Jack later, but Liam bought a bunch of cards, and my mom's essentially like, all right, you guys need to sell some of this stuff. There's just too many cards coming in. I don't see any cards going out. What's the deal here? And I was like, you're right. We need to get this straightened out. And so then I was like, all right, let me start an Instagram, because G's always like, you got to just start your own business, start your own brand, all this stuff. And my nickname growing up, all my siblings and my nickname was Mully, Mully. It's just abbreviated for Muldoon. And it was just something that stuck ever since I was in 7th grade. Shout out Coach Heedles in basketball. He started that one. But we started an Instagram page, and we just grinded. We just listened to G's social media tactics, posted a ton, just tried to add value in the comment section, tried to add value in content, just even really in just closed captions, just being like, I like this player for this reason. And got into the community of the cards hobby, which is a whole other thing that we can get into. It is a rabbit hole in itself. But yeah, just posted a ton. And then
How many
saw
times
that
do you think
breaking. What's up?
on that? How many times do you think you were posting a day on Insta?
Oh man, it's tough to say. At our peak, we were posting probably 4 or 5 times for sure a day at the beginning, just different cards.
Are you creating original content? Are you just in the comments? How much time are you spending inside of that? I'm always curious, because it's
yeah, no, for sure.
Mine too, usually.
No, for sure. I always a lot of it was for me posting just straight up pictures of the cards. I always wanted to keep it about the cards. I always thought that if you posted a cool card with a good caption, it would resonate with people. And I learned quickly there's a lot of really smart people in the card world with a lot of really nice cards. You need to bring good value to the table. So for me, it was more just developing relationships with people in the card industry, prioritizing people that were engaging with my account. Because honestly, that's how you don't survive without people that are commenting and people that actually care about for your content and enjoy it. So if you're not giving them love and showing them love, I mean, then you got nothing. So for
Well,
us,
that
it was
sounds
really
a little
just
community building there, Connor. A little bit of
yeah.
community building.
No, but it's just like, and it has to be in a genuine way. Like you can't just be like, you can't always just be like fire emojis. Like you have to actually like have substance to what you're saying, and that's something I always felt like G was great at, like making people understand. I feel like that's why so many people have success or like there are so many success stories from G's content, just because I feel like he understands that it's more than just replying and engaging. It has to be substance and like really like meaningful. Yeah, so for me, it was a lot of engaging, a lot of posting cards, and then it turned into quickly live breaks because listen, I was always about making an extra side dollar. Like I love cards. I consider myself a collector. I have cards that I'll never sell at home, just like small cards that aren't worth that much. But I want to be able to, make money on the side. Like it's the cost of living in New York's no joke. The cost of living in Boston's no joke. Like I like to spend money. I want to be able to make money. So I saw breaking as an opportunity to build more community, because on live streams it's just different. And that's what I learned, I think subconsciously. Like I don't even think I figured that out consciously until a while down the road, but just like going on live, having new people join the room that I'd never met before, and just like having them enjoy what we're spewing. Like I like to just talk about players as I'm opening packs and like give my takes. I'm like giving takes in real time as like I'm ripping like whatever LaMelo Ball cards or Zion cards. Like I'll tell you if I think they're good or not. Or we were just super transparent also with just like the pack openings, and like we were super diligent about shipping, and that's something I pride myself on, and my brother does as well, Liam and Jack. We want to be super transparent. We always wanted to provide the best shipping possible, and we try our best with VEEFriends. There are so many orders, and we really take pride in making sure every single order is getting packed the way it should and as timely as possible and safely. Like we want all the cards to get delivered in a super safe and timely fashion.
Is what happens there. Like whenever you're paying attention to those things that actually matter for the collectible piece, that comes from knowing collectibles, being inside the industry, knowing how everything is packaged to make sure that it all gets there appropriately, so you get somebody to come back. So it's great for business. So did you start making some money and being able to supplement your income in that way, shipping out cards and having breaks?
For sure. We were fully on Instagram and we were rocking, man. Like at the beginning, I wouldn't put ourselves at like the top, but like outside of the top breakers, we were like the next tier at the beginning of the hype cycle. Me and a few other people. There are breakers today that basically were inspired by what we were doing, that are still that they do it full time. I have a like real love for those guys. And they're some of the most like recognized names in the whole hobby. It's like crazy to see. And they've told me privately, like the reason they did it was because they saw me and my brothers at the time were like 24. I was probably like, honestly, I was like 23, 24. And I had two younger brothers that were like 18, 19. And they were like, listen, we were like doing our thing and kind of working on the side or doing whatever. And we saw you, turning out boxes, and like, we were like, let's do it. So it's just crazy to see like the impact we've had. But yeah, it started with select team all basketball 2019. Shout out Zion, shout out this kid I met at TB12 who came in. I was like, I'm into cards. He was like, I'm into cards. And he showed me his collection. I was like, you're really into cards. This kid had like NT, everything, all these crazy exquisite like LeBron RPAs and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, he just had everything. He was like, I can get you select team all. I buy a case. It shows up at my door like a month later. It took forever. I was like, I'm getting scammed. But he was like pretty transparent and like cool. So I was like, there's no way it's a scam. And then it showed up. And by that time, the boxes had like 4 or 5x. And it was a big net profit, and kind of gave us a leg up to like be able to actually buy like a case or two and not be like fully underwater. So because our budget wasn't crazy. And then eventually like we were just flying through cases. And again, this is where the live streaming came in. Like that was what really propelled our audience and like really grew us. Like we have a serious like following on Instagram, and it's really all because of the live streaming. I think we were spending days on Instagram. I mean, 6-8 hours at a clip, just like going at a time. And then it evolved. Eventually, my brothers were going back to college after about a year and a half of it. COVID was kind of ending. I was at a crossroads with my brothers were going back to school full time. I was at a point where in my life where I kind of wanted to start a career. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do sports cards. Like entrepreneurship is a very lonely business. Like Gary talks about it. Like people don't even like, they don't understand. Like when you see your friends, and like I was a young kid, I still am a young kid. I'm 27. But like when you see your friends like starting corporate jobs and like doing all that stuff, and like no one was making more money than me, honestly. Like at that time, like I was making more money than all my friends, but like I just wanted to start a career, and I just wanted it to be more than just my business at that time, with Mully Cards. So my brothers were going back to school. We moved on to Whatnot. We were doing a lot of repacks. Again, this is another thing. Like we were selling repacks at like a serious level, like before 99% of these people, like of the industry does now today. Like I consider myself someone that likes to see what's coming next instead of what's happening today in some ways. I've had, yeah, I just enjoy looking into the future and trying to predict, and no one will ever shoot 100%. But it just trying to find things that you think have real upside, and just go and attacking them. That's really the name of the game. It's just
community and the gameplay and everything that you're doing now, since you've jumped from more the sports cards into the TCG side of things with VEEFriends. I think it's interesting too, like you giving the whether or not you like the player or think it's valuable in the moment. I just think that that's something that you can, a lot of us inside the TCG world maybe aren't so much in the sports world, and the sports world is not so much in the TCG. So like bridging those communities is interesting. So coming back into the fold, like once you have that 6 to 8 hour breaks and things like that, like when do you get the attention of Gary and team, and how does like TLDR, how do you get onto the team and start this whole adventure?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at ranting. I feel like I've done a good job at that so far. No, it's all good. It's good.
I want to get the story, but I also want to beat you at cards.
No, I got you. I love it. So essentially that was a whole other thing, man. Like I used all Gary's methods to build up my business, and we had tons of success. Like there's no two ways to split it up. Like me and my brothers, we did really well for ourselves, and cards is something I want to continue to be, in like have my feet in the water, just understand what's going on, prospecting. I love prospecting, but TLDR and how I got to VEEFriends is I started working a sales job, did not like that at all, didn't last very long. After I ended my VEEFriends, after I ended my Mully Cards fully operational business, I started a sales job that lasted probably 8 to 9 months. Was not enjoying myself, was not happy with it. It was a cold calling position. But at the same time as I was looking into getting that job, I'd started a relationship with Tyler Schmidt, who works at Vayner. He's very close with G. He had Card Talk Pod running for 2 to 3 years. I was a steady listener to that. I'd met him at a show at Bleecker Trading. We'd started a relationship. I would stay in touch, and that was really the main thing, man. Just like staying in touch, developing the relationship. When I first met Tyler, I told him straight up I would work for free at whatever company. Like I just wanted to like work within G's world. Like obviously collectibles is what I was like tailored for, in terms of like what I was good at. But I told him, I was just like, dude, I'll literally work for free. I don't really care what the position is. Like I just know it'll be worth the opportunity to get my foot in the door. And he saw that like look in my eye, and like he just knew that I was for real. And I just developed that relationship, and that didn't lead to a job for a year and a half. So I stayed in touch with Tyler throughout the whole entire process of my previous job, essentially. And was just like, listen, I'm testing this out. I'll see how it goes, but just keep it in the back of your mind. Like I want to join up. And eventually, after a bunch of interviews and a few different, things, it landed perfectly with VEEFriends and just joined the collectibles team. I interviewed with Adam pretty quickly. I interviewed with Trouty. And I mean, we both hit it off. We were talking about Ethereum and this, that, the other. But landing in VEEFriends, like Tyler will tell you, like it was literally all on just me being proactive, sticking with it. Like I traveled to card shows with literally the intention of just meeting Tyler and telling him I wanted to work for free. I stayed in touch with him just like relentlessly, not to be like not in an annoying way, just being like, hey Tyler, I hope you had a good week. Like this is my update, yada yada. And just like nothing like good in life is gonna come just by chance. Like I don't really believe in luck that much. Jameis Winston talked about it recently on Part of My Take, but like good things just happen because you put yourself in the right place at the right time. Sure, there's like coincidences and like just crazy things that like people will hit the lottery, but like even those things, like you could argue that those are meant to happen. Like it's just I'm pretty stern on just like if you put your best foot forward and put yourself in the best position to succeed, there's a good chance that a breaker here or there will happen if you just stay relentless and stay with it.
Yep, and putting yourself out there and being able to just stick with it because you do have a passion for it, I think is the real important piece of that, because you will fall off if you don't have a passion for it. And since whenever you stay in touch on the same thing, I think that shows that you do have that passion, and it's almost like a vetting out process. So I love that take, Connor, and I'm happy to have you in VEEFriends especially, and being able to do the breaks. Having a marathoner on our hands is exciting because like it's an absolute jam session with you guys and ripping the packs and chasing one-of-ones and chasing the chat. It's like it's a really exciting show itself, and it's evolved since the beginning. And I'm excited where you guys go. You are super malleable, but you do have like a certain format that you're into, and I think that comes because of your whatever you now 4 years experience, but putting in those hours. So, bro, congratulations, welcome. But now we have to beat you at Compete and Collect. I do apologize for this in advance.
I don't know. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good with this. I got a pretty decent deck on my hands. Rips did a good job.
Good rips. Good riffs. He's got to do better than what he came with. He came with 5 random packs.
Oh God, no, this ain't that. I told him I need a good deck, so make it ready. I was scrambling to get back, man. I got it. Yeah, we got a ton of stuff this morning, so it's cool. I just want to say, man, before we start, like the VEEFriends team is spectacular. I love working with everyone here. I'm just so bullish on just everyone on the staff, and there's just so many bright people involved. I've learned so much. I'd like to consider myself the dumbest person in the room, just getting smarter around everyone else. Hopefully. So it's just a really cool place to be. It's super ambitious and just so many caring people, so many genuine people, and so many hardworking people. Like it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of fun, but learning about the industry and learning about TCG, learning about all the characters. Like I know all these characters like the back of my hand almost now. So it's just so cool to understand everything. And I shout out the community, man. Like the VEEFriends community is a special place. Like I consider myself someone that got into NFTs like on my own accord, and someone that just like I see the sports card hobby. I've been around different like niches and different hobbies. Like the VEEFriends hobby community is a special group of people, just like so many caring, genuine individuals that really like take action. Like they don't just say that they care. They really do things to brighten people's days and really just make the world a better place, which you just can't say that about every group of people. So it's a very cool group. So shout out everyone that's showed love to myself, showed love to Rip, showed love to Andy, to May, to Ezra, to Jacqueline, Contessa, everyone. I feel like I'm missing people on the team now, but Courtney,
Yeah.
I just shout out everyone that's shown love and shout out everyone in the community, and let's get into gameplay. I don't want to keep dragging it out.
All right. You're buttering everybody up here. Let's go.
No.
All right, call heads or tails. Up in the air. So I'll give you this side. So the CCC series, Josh Courage, shout out. This is his from Comic-Con whenever we did the 4-way gameplay. This is heads. And then Carson Caramel's, that is tails. So call it in the air.
Tails.
It is heads. I will defend.
Let me cut my deck one more time.
Yep. Oh, I always forget Final Cut.
Okay. I'm on offense, right?
Yes.
You roll with Aura.
Skill.
Accept.
25.
23.
Woo. All
Yep.
right. So
All right.
I'm going to keep track on this guy. It's hard to see. So occasionally I'll bring this up to you, but that was 2 into the skill column.
Yes, sir.
My attack. I attack Aura.
I'll defer for stamina.
Decline. Skill.
I accept. 25.
25. Nice. 271s up against each other. 3 in the tie bank. 1, 2, 3. Skill in the tie bank. Woo, boy. I attack Aura.
I attack stamina.
Accept.
24.
25.
Oh man. I should have went skill.
So I got 2 stamina.
This is
1,
bad.
2.
I gotta get on the board.
So I have 0 Aura, 5 skill, 2 stamina. Your attack.
ETT.
Ooh. 90.
Oh my god. Jesus
That
Christ.
teacher stinks. Ouch.
I of course this loses.
Of course
what
it loses.
happens. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's what happens when you pull a compassionate catfish rare.
Screen it.
What a bum character.
Oh no. All right, my attack. Maybe I went too heavy on this deck. Maybe I went
No,
too
you
heavy.
didn't. You didn't.
I
Are we
attack
doing best
stamina.
of 3 here? What's the deal? Is this just a one-off?
We can do. I have time. We can keep going.
I might need to run it back. I don't know if I can live with this. It's me.
I attack stamina.
I accept. 24.
20. All right, 1 into the tie bank. Stays on me. I attack skill.
I attack stamina.
Accept.
24.
25.
God dang. Of course. Either way, you were gonna decline.
Yeah. All right,
That's
your attack.
brutal. What are we at here score-wise? Just so I know.
Aura 1, skill 6, stamina 6.
Whew. Stamina.
Accept. 24.
23.
Oh.
God. All right. We're shuffling and running that back. That's crazy.
Run it back.
I gotta
Run it
pray.
back.
I gotta pray my deck gets better in the next 10 seconds. No, it's a decent deck. There's just too many 23s in here.
Yeah.
and 22s. I would have. I mean, honestly, it's like pretty dang high card scores. All right.
Yeah, I definitely changed something up on my strategy after I played Tom the other day. I played him in a best of 7 and just got smoked. So
I feel like
checked-
you're going after skill here. Am I wrong?
what's that?
I feel like you're going after skill.
I was. What's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, you want to call it in, or do you want to go ahead?
It was working. All right. I'll call it again. You can.
All right.
Tails.
Heads again.
All right.
I'll defend.
This is where the comeback that people don't see coming comes.
Yes.
Skill.
Except 25.
That's so devastating. 23.
Ouch.
I was trying to-
Ouch.
That's so devastating. I was trying to backdoor the rare, the total. That was bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
That was a tough one. Okay.
Skill.
Listen. Aura.
Stamina.
Except 24.
24.
All right.
So
3
1,
stamina
2,
to the side.
yeah. I attack aura.
I attack stamina.
Decline skill.
Except 24.
24. Nice.
Thank God I didn't go to total.
Hey,
All right. So
This
what
is
do
a
we got
big-
on the side? This is
This is a boy.
what's this worth
Nice.
again?
So it'll be worth 3 skill, 3 stamina, and whatever it ends up this round.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I attack skill.
I accept. 25.
25.
Oh my God. Come on.
My attack still. I attack aura.
I attack stamina.
Decline skill.
Accept. 24.
25 for the win.
Come
was
on, man. I got you to the. I needed that 24 to cash.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. That was it, dude.
That is brutal. Did I get
Oh.
1 point in 2 matches?
No.
Oh my God. I know I'm never gonna hear the end of that.
Yeah, because everything was a tie the whole way. Yeah.
I was putting in some decent work. I need to. I'm ready to schedule the rematch. I'm ready to schedule the rematch.
I understand. Yeah, what's up, Better Ray? Good to see you, Dale. Good to see you too, my friend. Love
I'm
seeing you guys.
legitimately. I'm literally ready to run a rematch. Do you have like? Can I go like swap out some cards quick? Do you have like 10 minutes?
I have actually Steve's gonna NFT Bark. He's coming on next. He's slated for 11:15. So I don't really have that much. I'm squeezed on this side of it, but
Yes.
this afternoon we could run it back.
I might demand an afternoon run back. I mean, I think I have to. Let's tentatively say like what time works best for you this afternoon?
I'm not sure. Let's just
Okay.
DM and figure it out.
Perfect.
But we're down.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I need to reevaluate this deck, get in the lab for a minute, maybe
Get a
open like
point.
20 packs. Yeah, I might just have to take out a small loan.
I understand. All right, brother. Hey, man, thank you so much for joining me up. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing over on Fanatics Live and VEEFriends in general with the compete and collect game. I am now undefeated against the VEEFriends team.
For now.
So I have that strat right now.
For now. I'm coming back this afternoon. I'm coming back with vengeance.
I just lit a fire under Connor's ass, boys. Let's go.
Ron, I really appreciate you a ton for having me on, and I had a great time chopping it up a little bit and giving some more background on how I got to VEEFriends, and that's really it.
For sure, man. All right, brother. Thank you. Take care. Until next time, guys. Build
Until
those
this
decks.
afternoon.
There you go.
Later on. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
refresh yours, and I want you to look through. College and shortly after, but I think NFTs helped re-energize that. And my collecting tends to be things that I have some sort of identity or community association with. So like things in my background that you'll see, it's like, Mallrats is one of my favorite. I love Kevin Smith, and I think he's a tremendous, director, writer, talented actor. And so I have a signed Kevin Smith Mallrats poster in my background because that's something that I wanted to collect, a signed poster by someone I admire. Whether it's, Cool Cats or, other sort of, various, NFT projects I'm in, VEEFriends box in the background, Nouns Glasses, Mutant Ape stuff, and Doodle. So to me, it's always like if I have a sense of identity, it's one of the reasons why I was cracking, my boxes. And I'll show you some of the cards I've gotten from I think I had 2 boxes of Compete and Collect I had gotten when I bought my VEEFriends 2. The most excited card I got wasn't like the rares or anything like that. It was my Brave Bison I pulled because I have a sense of identity tied to that because that's my, VEEFriend. So I've always been sort of, collecting things that I'm super into is sort of my thing.
I like that you have the tie to Cleveland as well, so we're sort of neighbors at the moment. And also you have the NSCC coming or NCSS coming to your back door.
Yep.
Or you have tickets? Are you going? What's the deal?
I don't have tickets, but isn't it? We got time, don't we? Like when is National Card Show?
I believe June.
I was gonna say, like, I thought we had a while, so I'll probably plan to go just because, unless I am somewhere else at the time or have another trip or something, I will. I'll be going to the NSC. I think it's something I definitely want to check out, especially if nothing else to go see some VEEFriends, but like maybe even go with my son, check out some Pokemon, some One Piece cards, things like that, because he's super into some of those worlds as well.
One Piece. Dive into it. I see it everywhere. I don't know anything about it. They're huge. They're like huge anime cards, is what I've seen.
Yeah. It's basically like, so I'm not as into. I was never into anime growing up. Never was a thing that was on my radar. My son he got into Pokemon, then he got into Dragon Ball, and we've watched some Dragon Ball movies, and he's recently gotten really, really into One Piece. And so, look, I mean, it's one of the most popular IPs in the world, actually, and he doesn't have any cards from it yet. He's been mostly watching / he has a One Piece game he plays, or no, his game is a My Hero Academia game. So he's way into the anime world as far as like that goes. And I don't have a good. Here's how I approach it. Even if I don't like it, if my son is like, hey, do you want to spend time with me and watch this or play this? Done deal. So I would like to learn everything about it as much as I can, which I haven't dove in as much, but it's more just like being there for him and supporting the things he loves, because even if I don't love it, like I don't want to steer him to something just because I like it. I want to meet him where he is because he likes it. So I've been watching a lot of One Piece and I know the characters and things, but I'm not as super into it as he is, but I think that's okay. I just want to support him in his fandom.
And whenever you talk about your collectibles, you said you like to have a connection to them. I'm curious, is that is that always in real life connection somehow, something physical, or are you okay with just a digital, like a digital piece of it?
I mean, either way, digital or physical, honestly, like I like digital art. Like I bought a Vinny Hager and people are like, oh, well, the floor's been up or down or whatever, and you didn't sell when it was up and then it was down. And my answer is Vinny Hager designed the art for the first Harvard Business Review article about NFTs that I wrote for with my co-author Scott way back in the day. So it's like I wanted to own a Vinny because I wanted to own a Vinny, and it's a digital collectible that means a lot to me because I associate it with one of the greatest, most important moments of my career. And so it's just one example, or like friendship bracelets were another one. They issued 2 friendship bracelets for if you owned an Art Blocks and minted an Art Blocks. My very first NFT I minted was an Art Blocks Galaxis, right? It started my journey in NFTs. Now, while I have bought some things before them, I had never minted anything. And it was the coolest thing. And they gave me 2 friendship bracelets. And the idea was they're like, hey, one for you, and then give one to a friend. So I sent it to my co-author Scott because again, we've been on this journey together of Web3, and it meant a lot. Now he's not selling that. I'm not selling it. At one point, I think they were going for like half an ETH or something. But it's not about that money. It's about the digital collectible and what it means, and the fact that we both own this friendship bracelet is a very cool concept to us. So like to me, it can be digital, it can be physical. Collecting is collecting, and I think as time goes on, I actually think digital collectibles, not just because we're here talking about NFTs, but I think digital collectibles will have a much bigger place in people's hearts once they start being not the financial ones, but you visit a national park, you see 5 landmarks. They have an NFC chip that you scan that shows that you were there. That's going to have a lot of personal meaning, not because you sell it, but because you have a proof that you made it to this thing.
I think that there stands a huge opportunity for for what do you call them? Oh my God, like the Parks and Rec type people, where you bring people into your city. What is that called? Why am I blanking?
Tourism departments.
Yeah, for tourism to be able to collect these stamps at historic landmarks. Like I was walking through Nashville, Tennessee the other, what was it? Maybe over the summer. It was over the summer, I believe. And I was walking through and I saw some of these national landmarks. They have done QR codes on the landmarks. So you can scan the QR code, you can get a video of the reason why there's a historic landmark there. And I'm like, how cool would it be to have like some sort of QR code there? You get the NFT, maybe it's on some L2, so it doesn't cost you anything. And then you have that inside of your wallet, and now you're just like you're part of this historical society on chain, just because you were walking around the city and you discovered something, and you take pictures with it, almost like we had this thing around our town, and I know it's everywhere, not everywhere else, but it's other places where you find this like little rock, and then there's a little hashtag on it. There's a painting, and then a little hashtag like slippery rock rocks, and then you go to that hashtag and you take a picture with it, and you create this little community inside of it. I think that there's like really big opportunities for tourism to take advantage of blockchain and bringing people in.
Not just tourism, by the way. Imagine if you take kids to the zoo and you want them to run around the zoo and kind of see different things, right? Like a field trip. You could use the same concept, and you could say if you go on the whatever this journey is today, because it's programmable software, you could say you get 10% off in the gift shop. Well, now your kids are going to drag you to the gift shop. They're going to buy something. You're going to have a profit center, but you're also going to give people a gamified reason to come to the zoo. You could say, completing all of it gets you the opportunity to win a membership to the zoo the following year. So like those gamifications are interesting. Or even just like a university, like you want to take a tour of like Ohio State University, like, go to Buckeye Grove, scan it, you get a sort of POAP or sort of IYK chip thing that goes into a digital wallet. Not only does it say you're there, it says that, this is the history of it, to your point. And then one last example, which is kind of my favorite, is I've traveled a lot for work in the past couple of years, probably, a dozen, 2 dozen times. I don't even know. Like, I don't remember all the stories. IYK chips actually have the ability to scan them and tell a story on top of them. And so imagine a world where I land in New York, Delta shoots me sort of a POAP type thing to sort of a, private, date. It doesn't have to be public. It could be private. This is when you went, this exact date. I could add in stories. I could add in pictures. You could actually relive your entire history of traveling, because I wish I could remember some of the stories from 2021 at the very first NFT NYC that I went to, but I don't. And so I think that people underestimate when they think about financialization of assets and collectibles that a lot of times collectibles are just that, things that you want to collect. And it's not always selling to someone at a higher price. It's using things to sort of better experience life in a way that becomes more memorable and also has less clutter. Because as much as I love the stuff I have a whole gaggle of stuff that is off camera that you don't see because I have too much stuff. Like the ability to have that digitally and then display digitally and traveling in different digital spaces, I think is really powerful.
I totally agree with you. And I think that the whole reason why we collect the things that we collect is the whole reason I have this character right here, Sentimental Summer. It's the sentimentality behind everything. It's the experiences, it's the stories, it's why you won't sell something even though the floor is through the roof. It's because it means something. And when things mean something, you act different. You just do. You just act differently with that thing. You know, you have that piece that is connected to your friend now, your co-author Scott. It's connected. You're not gonna sell that thing. Why the hell would you sell that thing? There'd be no way.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just it's. I think it's like, it's funny in the book we actually have this whole thing where I think we start off the chapter. I don't think it got cut. I gotta actually reread back through my book. It's been a couple months since it hit the wild, but like there we go. Let's go. But I think there's
Right
something to
here.
be. Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's the alpha right there. But I think there's something to be said about, like, we start off a chapter, I believe it's like, what's the price you would put on your college friends or on your friends you went to high school with? And like, there's not a price. And I think that that's what people miss in NFTs. Well, yes, there are people who are trying to make money, and I don't knock anybody taking profit ever, and I don't knock anybody who sells anything ever for whatever reason. But like, to some people, a Babe Ruth baseball card is a Babe Ruth baseball card that they're super stoked about. For some people, that's $7,500 that matters to them, and they're like, it's different to different people. But like, it's like there's like a Sopranos. Like, I'll give you an example. Like when my dad passed away, like one of the things I got him that I took back was I had gotten him a present one year, this brick from the Sopranos deli that they ate outside of. Like they always ate outside of, like, I think Santrielli's or something was the deli they ate outside of. My dad was a big Sopranos fan. I was a big Sopranos fan. We had this shared sort of, bond over that. We talked about it. We watched it. We loved it. So I got him a brick from this one day, and he was so excited. He displayed it front and center in our family room until the day he passed away, literally right in front of that brick. And then when he passed, like, one of the things I wanted was that brick. Now, that thing may be worth money. I don't know. But someone could tell me this is worth $10,000. I'm not going to go sell it because it has a meaning to me, and that price can't be there. To another person, it's a brick. But to me, it's that. And I think that value of collectibles, that value of commemorating moments, again, and it's like you see it with my kids. Like, my kids don't buy Fortnite skins or Roblox pets because they're like, I can't wait to flip this thing. It's like it has a tie into what they do. And some people do, and that's okay. There's a whole market for that as well. So it's not one size fits all. That's what makes the world go around, is there's markets. But to me, it's like, I agree. It's like that's how I've always been. It's the sentimentality, the identity, the community. That's why I have a bunch of Ohio State stuff, because it matters to me, because it helps shape the person I am.
No doubt about it. I agree with you 110% on all of the pieces about collectability and wanting to remember moments. I think that even just with my photos app, whenever it brings me up memories, I love that stuff. I think that that's incredible. And the smarter that gets, the better that experience will be. And I think that that's where we kind of grow inside of digitally, physically, whatever it is. But I do agree with you too that, like, dude, I got way too much shit in this room. Like, I have way too much. I have the Skeletor stuff. I got all these cards. I got minis. I got a bunch of shipping stuff. It's like, good Lord, how much? Give me some of this digitally, which is where I send a lot of my cards to courtyard.io, because they get an NFT. I don't pay for anything at the moment. I'm sure that that'll change at some point, but you could send them all of your graded cards and they display them as an NFT. They house them with Brinks as their security vault, and I can look at them online anytime I want to. I love that, because I know that they're gonna be kept well, and I don't have to worry about them anymore. They're under their guys.
I think that that's a really, and some people don't have, just like some people like self custody versus having custodial wallets. Some people, I'm similar to you. I'm comfortable with Brinks holding a asset of mine. Other people might say, nope, I want it on my possession. But I think there's something exactly what you said. We're seeing with cards. This is a meta I think is very interesting that I hadn't seen coming. Is as digital spaces become better, and we have like somebody's going to make bank making sort of a social digital space where you can display the elements of your personality. But like the idea that I could like digitize like a baseball card I got from my dad, or that even that brick, something as like niche as that brick, and they would have a designer who could mock it up really quickly. If I could display that in a digital space and have them safely store it, then it's not in my house. Because it's so funny. Like people will ask, like I've had people actually ask, like, do you regret buying certain things? And of course, there's always certain physical things you FOMO into. You're like, yeah, but it's like I don't regret buying the Gutter Cat skate deck. It's dope, and it was with Jeff Staple, and I think it's cool. I just don't have anywhere to display it currently. And I think people miss like, if I could get that digitized and that's why I think digital companions are so interesting, not to take us off on a tangent, but like what Doodles, I had this unlock talking to Julian Holguin, the CEO of Doodles the other day when he came on our show where, and he had this total mic drop. It was like one of the most boss lines ever. Where I said to him, I was like, I'm having this unlock because he talked about like working with big brands. I'm like, I didn't think about it this way because what I think about is Doodles partners with brands. It's good for their holders to get exposure and them to get out there. I was like, but wait a minute. Does Doodles provide a safe space for Crocs and for G-Shock and for you name it to create a digital collectible, dip their toe in without creating a whole NFT program and work with a brand that's trusted? And he's like, is that something you think about doing? And he just looks at me and he just answers for a second. He pauses. He goes, we're already doing it, Steve. And I was like, damn. But it's so true because they are already doing it. It's like, once they have that proof of concept, like Crocs can be like, hey, it's safe to go here. And I think more and more brands are seeing that where it's like, I might own physical Crocs I wear, but if I can have my avatar online wearing those same Crocs and they mean something to me, it's like I wear some of the same hoodies. Like I'm wearing a Pixel Ball boarded G Money Punks Comics sort of hoodie right here, right? Like this hoodie is about like it was Adidas made it when they launched it with them. I wear this hoodie all the time. If I could wear this hoodie in the metaverse or on an avatar or PFP, 1,000 times out of 1,000, I'd be wearing it constantly because I wear this like almost every day. I wear it when I travel. People like think that like people will be like, oh, I see you wore that NFT gear when you posted a picture or video. Are you trying to get someone's attention? I'm like, this is just how I dress. Like this is all I own. Like you're wearing NFT gear. I'm wearing NFT gear. This is just how we are. But to be able to wear that same thing online, it would help me feel like I'm more connected to what I'm doing, right?
Do you think that it's important now for us to be experiencing the metaverse? Because that's the world you're talking about is like a metaverse world. Do you spend much time behind the goggles? Like, are you on Oculus? Do you like hang in Decentraland, Sandbox? What do you do in there? How much time are you spending there?
So I don't spend a lot of time in proper metaverses like Decentraland, Sandbox. I've played around in pretty much everyone you can think of. But to me, this is one of the things I changed my mind on while writing the book. Actually, Scott and I have talked about this offline. I can't remember if we said this on, publicly or not before, but it's like we changed our mind about what a metaverse is like while writing the book. And I've always used the idea like, hey, Twitter Spaces is a metaverse light because we're all behind PFPs. We wouldn't have known these people otherwise. You're talking to 200 strangers that, behind, identity or whatever. But I got to stop using that language. I just think it's a metaverse. I think right now this is a metaverse. Like I think digital spaces where you travel and are able to conduct and do. Now, again, like, are there proper sort of like metaverses like you think of like a Grand Theft Auto, but you have custodial options that things you hold, or Roblox or a Minecraft? Certainly. But I actually think metaverse is a much more expansive. I have a much more expansive perspective. Like I would argue to some degree when I was in multi-user dimensions or MUDs, which are like Dungeons and Dragons games online that were completely text-based in like the 90s, where I would code zones and hang out and level guys up and fight bosses. That's a metaverse, right? And so I think that there's something to be said about like loosening that definition, because I think we almost romanticize the metaverse to be like we're all zipping around in Ready Player One. And I think that's a version of it. But I actually think it should be a much more expansive word than we give it credit for. And I've changed my mind on that recently because, especially if we're being more virtual, like I think there's different opportunities and ways to define that. And so You know, if like I even have a static room that you walk around in that displays my collectibles in a place. Because again, like going back to our first conversation, I was talking to an agency the other day. Like an agency brought me in to kind of speak a little bit about NFTs, and they were asking like what gives these things value. And earlier he had mentioned he's a big Joe Mauer fan. He had a signed bat. I'm like, what gives your Joe Mauer bat value? And I was like, can anybody know? Does anybody know you own that? I'm like, what if you had a digitized version of that in a space where everybody knows? Underrated, doesn't get enough credit. Joe Mauer is sick. Like, here's the bat I have signed by him. I'm in Minnesota. It means something to me. And so I think that like there's different ways to define the metaverse, whether it's a space that you visit that is digital items, whether it's a place like this, whether it's a place like Decentraland. I think those are games. Games are games, but I think there's a different definition as I want to broaden the spectrum of it, because I also think like last thing I'll say on it is like, you know, when we were in the 90s, we couldn't have imagined doing all of our shopping online. And the way that we navigate a website and how terrible, you know, it was back then. Now we do all that shopping online. Is it crazy to think that websites will eventually have an experience, whether it's spatial computing or otherwise, where you can try on the items, see the items, know how the items potentially fit in a metaverse-like shopping environment where the front end gives you multiple shopping options, look and pick, or have a more immersive experience? That would be a metaverse, but not by the letter of the law. So I think there's a broad definition of what that is. And I also think, honestly, I think the term's kind of buzzwordy and has a little bit of a bad rap for a lot of people.
I think, man, I keep saying this, but I agree with that too, because I've said from the very beginning, and I've said this even whenever I was doing the education courses on like the basics of NFTs, NFT 101s, I would say this Zoom call or this call here is the metaverse. It is absolutely. And it is a maybe we do need a different term. Maybe we do. Let's hit the marketing team up. All right. Let's switch gears. Let's do a hard reset here, guys. This is Compete and Collect. Steve has no idea what he's doing. I had to send him a deck so he could play. I want to know what questions you have because you're new. A lot of our listeners are new, and let's hear it. What kind of questions do you have at the moment?
All right, so I have the basics of Compete and Collect. Like I understand the basics of it, or I have at least that. And again, this is going to sound so noob, where I know that like I have my deck, I pull a card. Like because we're actually on video, it actually makes it almost easier to play because there's no like indicators of like what my card might be or how it is. I say like if I'm right, if I understand how this works, I'll say like aura, and then you'll say skill, and then I'll say okay, let's do this thing, and then we compare skill, and then winner gets the points, right?
Yep.
And then whoever has more skill is the winner, and you get sort of the points, and you basically need to collect a certain amount of points. I vaguely remember this whole thing, and so I remember this, and so I understand that aspect of it. Before we even dive in, though, I have like a thick deck of cards, and I want you to tell me what's worthwhile in here that isn't just because I like it because I like the actual character, which is actually how I identify what I like in the cards, but what I should be thinking from a Compete and Collect perspective. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll try to figure out, like, I'm just going to go like one by one, and there's a lot of cards. We can go through them relatively quickly. You can say yay or nay or hey, that's a good card. Ready?
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good?
Yes.
Okay. Would you use that in a deck? They're kind of organized by...
Yes.
All right. I'm flying. But I can't also have too many rares, right? Like you have to have some sort of distribution.
Yeah. Each one of those rares is worth 2 points against a 15 cap.
Got it. Okay. This is obviously a valuable card.
Oh, no, but yes.
To me personally, maybe not the thing. Is there value in like, okay, actually, let's do it this way because I have so many. Tell me like what characters you see as the most valuable characters if you're looking through like the yellow backed ones, the more common ones.
So here's my thing. Whenever I'm looking at a deck, now I'm not going to use this deck in particular. I'll use something else. But what I'm looking for is the highest numbers here. That's what I want. I want to be able to maximize the amount here. And the max that you can go is 25. So the more 24s, 23s, 25s that you can get into your deck, the better. Now what happens is you'll get cards. Some cards will be like this electric eel that has a great 25 over here, but absolute dog water over here. Because like an 18 and a 20, you're pretty much going to lose every time. It's a pretty low score on total as well. So if you don't hit this 25, it's going to be tough for you to win that hand. But it is a really powerful card because it has 25.
So does that
So
change? Is that like a way, just real quick, that you would like strategically play it in the sense that you would say like your goal, and there might be some mental, gymnastics here, right? That you're playing, or like mental like games where you're like, maybe you won't say stamina up front, and maybe you want someone to challenge you on stamina, and you're like, boom, let's roll. Like you basically want to get someone to that 25 to say, let's go. Is that how you play?
think about it like this. So if I had this guy had 6, right? So he has 6 over here, and I pull this card. I'm trying to stay away from stamina, even though it's my strongest. If he says aura, I'm like, accept, whatever. Let's move on to the next card. Because I need to avoid my strongest, actually.
Now, why
Even
is that?
though-
Why are you avoiding it even though he has 6 there?
Well, because what'll happen, though, is let's say that he pulls, let's say over on his side, he has this card. Right, so he has the fire chicken, as we like to call it, and I have the eel. So we have 25s. Both of these are 25s. So if I call stamina, he accepts. Okay, cool. We tied. It goes into the tie bank. So now there's 1 point sitting in the tie bank. So anything I lose, he's going to get that point in the tie bank. So then he'll automatically win. So I try to avoid this number anytime that they are close to winning, even if I have a great number on mine, because I don't want it to go to the tie bank.
And remind me how you win. Is it getting 7 in one category? Remind me what the win is. 7 in any one category?
7 in one category. So let's say that, for example, I call stamina. You accept. I beat you. I would get 1 stamina. Let's say I call aura. You decline skill. And I accept that. And you beat me. You'll get 2. Because it was on the second round. Now, let's say we go through that whole thing and we get to stamina for the third one, and we accept, and you beat me. That one you would get 3. And let's say, okay, well, shit, I don't like any of my subscores. Let's go total, because one of yours was like a Boss Bobcat.
Yep.
I think it's not a very good card to play, but it's a great TTT card because now I can just go straight to total score. And now I can get 1 of each.
Got
Because
it.
when you go total, it's 1 of each. And you would get whatever's in the tie bank.
So, okay, so 1st to 7 in any given category. And do you have to go in order, or can I start with stamina and then go to like skill after that?
That is the greatest part, is you can go wherever you want to, except for total, unless you have a rare plus. If you have a rare plus and you want to go TTT, you can do that once per game immediately. Otherwise, you got to go through all the subscores to get to total.
So if you have like 6 in a bank and you pull a better than rare card that you know that you're like, okay, I got a rare plus, like you're basically going to just go TTT, boom, game over. Or they pull out a perfect Persian on you and you feel bamboozled, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep, you're right on cue.
Okay, awesome. Last thing I have, and then I'd love to play a little bit. Last thing I have, okay, I have an OG Ox that is serial number 10 out of 500. Do the serial numbers matter to people, or are they just like, look, these are here to play?
No, some people really like clean serial numbers, is what they'll call them, like the 1s, the 5s, the 10s, the anything with 5s is good, like 55, of course, in this community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, they do matter. I think they do matter.
Cool. Yeah, I'm always curious about that because, yeah, I have 3 rares and my OG Ox is 10 out of 500. And I saw that just as somebody who does. I am a serial number guy for whatever reason. I don't know why. I think it's just I like the numbers as a collector. And so, like, even when I was collecting like Top Shot stuff, I would actually pay up a couple extra bucks if it meant that I was going to get to have sort of a more like a 3-digit serial or a 2-digit serial versus a 4 or 3. So I'm somebody who always did that, but I wasn't sure if that mattered.
Yeah, it does matter for some people, for sure.
And then you had sent me like a pack, and obviously I understand like exactly what's going on here. And then I have these other just VEEFriends other cards that I'm not like as familiar with from the Compete and Collect. What are these green guys that I'm playing with right here that you gave me?
Oh, so those are not anything to play with. Those were just as a thank you for coming on the pod. Those are from the Wizard packs.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
those are just have to none of those do anything at the moment.
Because I remember a while back when we talked offline, you had mentioned like, and this is one of the best parts about communities and NFTs is y'all had like created some like basically booster packs that changed the dynamics of the game to make it so you weren't just playing the same decks over and over again as people are getting more familiar, which I just think, yeah, to me, that is like very fucking cool that like the community iterates on the actual game itself. It's almost very much like what, you know, Pirate Nation or Pixel Vault with Reboot are building in public with Battle Plan, what they're doing. It's almost like the community, well, it's not an official thing and they're more official. You're affecting potentially the way the game can be played in a positive way to say, we think we can improve upon this. And I think that's cool. Like, well, people will be like, oh, there'll be purists, I'm not sure, who want to play official like rules. It would be really cool if like there's a world in the future where people are using your sort of packs to say like, hey, we're going to change up the game. This is going to be a, you know, like a Ron Jordan tournament or whatever you want to call it, right? It's like that would be, I think, just a cool dynamic. And I think y'all should run one of those actually at some point. That would be cool.
We have talked about like having specific like gameplay styles that you're better at, like tennis, singles, doubles. You know, there's people that are good at one version versus the other, and we're like, well, maybe somebody's like really good at this boost, like their Dale's booster packs. Maybe they're really good at that version, but not like the regular version, and their specials that we've definitely talked about that. Yeah, for sure.
One more question as we go too, because you had obviously been kind enough to send me a deck, and I know you sent me like one. If it's a tie, the rarity is the tiebreaker, right? Is that true? Or does it go to the tie bank no matter what?
Repeat that question.
Sorry, it's like so. Like, let's say that I go with a 19 stamina. So you sent me the Intuitive Iguana, which was 19 stamina.
Yeah.
Let's say that we go and we both have 19, right? Is the rarity a tiebreaker? Or does it go into the tie bank?
Nope. The rarity doesn't matter whenever you're talking sub scores. Only the rarity only matters when you go total.
If you go total, so if like this one says total score 75, but total 75. If we both have 75, then it would say like yes. Got it. It'll be tied to the rarity. Also, should I be, if you had sent me, so it's a question, you know, you sent me the Intuitive Iguana in this nice sleeve. Are any of these three cards ones that I should replace it with rarity in it? Like, so I have this this OG Ox that has some pretty good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I have this Fearless Fairy, which I think it totals 84.
The Fearless Fairy is a good card. I would have all three of those in my deck.
Got it. So I can include all three of those. I have to remove so I removed three other ones that you had sent me and add those three to the deck to play now?
Exactly. Yeah, you want to get, so what I'm doing is I'm playing a few of my rare cards. So let's say like these are going to be the rare cards I'm going to play. So I have two very rares and a rare. So this is 2 points against my 15. That's a very rare, so that's 3 points against my 15. And that's another 3 points. So 3, 6, 7, 8 against 15. So I still have 7 points I could play with if I wanted to add more.
I got it. So my deck has to be 15. So these three, if I put in, are all.
The deck is 20. The deck is 20 cards.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. The full deck is 20 cards, including your rare cards.
Got it. So this would be 6 if I do these three in. And then I look at the other ones. I go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I would just basically theoretically pull out the rest and then I would have them, or does that have to be a certain number?
So it's 20 total cards.
Got it.
Okay. So then there's 15 rarity points. So the rarity points don't have anything to do with the amount of cards. It's actually just the associated number. So like these cores, they're 0 points against your rarity, but it's 1 point against your total deck. So I need to have 20 total cards, including my rare cards. Okay. So I need to have 20 cards total. Then, if I wanted to change out some of these cards for rare cards, I just need to make sure that I stay under 15 points. And the rare cards are worth 2 points. The very rares are worth 3 points. And epic is worth 4 points. And then a spectacular is worth 5 points against 15. But they only are 1 point against the 20 for a total deck of cards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the yellows don't add to my rarity score at all. They just add to my total score. So in theory, I should have all 4 of these rare ones in my deck because I'm not gonna, because that's still only 8, so I'm not even surpassing the 15. And then I just need another 16 total cards, right?
That's it.
All right, hold on.
And
Let me get this.
there.
Got it. All
So
right.
you
So then I
can't have
wait. Repeat that last
Cinema.
point. Sorry.
I said you can't have the same character more than one time. So you can't have like a full deck of perfect Persian cats.
Got it. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So I'm gonna even just randomly select. I'm just gonna look at totals and take my best total ones real quick as I go that you had sent through.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. I totally could have actually, like, now that you're doing this, I'm like, well, I could have actually put this together with what I have. I just wasn't aware of the proper way to do it, but I appreciate you walking me through it. So 1, 2, 3.
I was probably sending out more cards anyhow.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're just gonna. I think we're about 20 now. Let's do this thing. I'm cool. Let's shuffle them up, go through them, and then we'll try. You will absolutely annihilate me. That's okay. That's how you learn. It's the way my kids learn. The first time my son beat me in Mario Kart, he went nuts because he knew that he earned it. Because I never let that kid win.
Oh, I never let my daughter win anything. My first date with my wife was we were shooting pool, demolished her. Just not even close.
How did she react to that? Because that's so funny. Because I could see her going. I know Liz a little bit. Like I could see her going a couple different directions with it.
She was fine with it. I think she thought I was cute, so with it.
Yeah, nice. it's like almost like it's like yeah, that's kind of a baller move. I like that. I dig it. Cool.
Yeah,
Guys.
I was just like, hey, this is I'm kind of competitive no matter what. Yes, I like you, but hey, this first.
Yeah, this is what you're getting into. That's how my wife is. It's like my daughter will sometimes be like, daddy can get on my nerves sometimes with his like corny jokes or whatever, like, to mommy. And like my wife just goes like, I signed up for this. I'm not as bothered by you. Like I knew exactly what I was getting into.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so we do a coin toss at the beginning. You call heads or tails. So this is the CCC, which is the Courage Compete and Collect. That's where you and I were chatting about this game. And then tails is the Carson Caramels. So go ahead and call it in the air.
I love that. Tails never fails. Tails.
And heads has been coming up all day today.
Tails failed.
It's heads. And I'll defend. So you get to attack first. So you get to call out your.
I have turned him upside down, so I don't know what's coming. That's the proper protocol, right? Then I
correct.
Upside. Okay, cool. Turn it upside down. So I'm gonna go with stamina.
Decline. Aura.
Decline. Skill.
I gotta go total. This is a crap card. Hot shit hornet.
Oh, all right. So I got one.
Hey, look, elite. The elite catfish. So you get 1, 2. Come on. There we go.
And 3 because we're on the third one. That's awesome. All righty.
Yep. Well, no, it's not it was actually, it went total score. So you get 1 of each.
Oh, that's right. Right. It went total. So I got 1 of each. Perfect. Awesome.
All right. My attack. I attack skill.
Stamina.
Aura.
I'll take it. What's aura? Let's go.
20.
23.
Hey, he got 3 there. He got 3. 1, 2, 3.
I always remember
There you
too. It always feels low key like you're playing Name That Tune when I'm doing this to me, where it's like you're saying that and it's like name that tune. All right, my turn to go first.
Yes.
Let's go skill.
Decline. Aura.
Decline stamina.
Decline. Total.
All right.
63.
69.
Hey!
Mm.
Somebody
getting
loaded this
lucky.
guy up.
Yeah, it's
Loaded
almost
this
like you
guy
set
up.
me. It's almost like you set me. It's like you set me up a little bit here in the best way possible. I appreciate that. This is like here you are, like I never let people win, and you're giving me the deck that's like letting me like it's yeah, I like this.
Hey, you know. All right,
You're
it
like,
is my turn.
just not Alyssa. Anybody else can win.
No, I'm not letting you win. I'm just like I'm kind of playing a little bit too loose. Too loose.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
I attack Aura.
Okay, so I have a question which is going to tell my hand a little bit, but when I get the answer to this. So my card is atrocious, and I'm not going to win anything on this. So for my money, it's best to accept Aura and just eat it, right? Versus continuing down this road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I'll just accept. I'll accept.
Yep.
Cool.
23.
I got 17, but I didn't think, and this one had 53 total, 17 Aura, 20 skill, and 16 stamina. So I didn't feel like I was going to win anything. So just like eat the 1 point, right?
You're smart. You got it.
Got it. Cool.
You're
all right. Let's go. Aura.
Decline. Skill.
All right. I'll accept because I'm going to lose this one too.
23.
Oh yeah, you're going to beat me. 20.
Got it. So 2 on the skill. My attack. I attack Aura.
Okay, so I'm going to do something else again here, and you tell me if I played this right. I'm going to accept Aura, and the reason I'm doing it is, while I have a decent total, I have 23s across the board. So my thought is like, why go further if I'm not sure? And 23 is kind of a questionable number, right?
For
okay,
sure.
so it's a push.
Yep, it's a tie. So 1 into the reset. There we go. Okay. Yep, 1 into the tie bank. So now just to even out the scores here. So you have 5 aura, 2 skill, 2 stamina. I have 2 aura, 2 skill, 0 stamina, and we have 1 aura in the tie bank. I attack skill.
I'm just going to accept and lose the tie bank. Again, I got a lower one here, so I'm just kind of punting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
23.
Nothing I was going to win. Yeah, so like this is like part of the strategy, right? You're minimizing damage and looking at the numbers and realizing like where you're best suited for in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the times it is about minimizing damage, and sometimes it just really sucks whenever you pull a cockatoo out whenever whenever the time is right for a rare card and you lose the game. You know, those things happen.
Yeah. I think it's my serve, so to speak. Stamina.
It's my
I'm sorry.
attack, actually.
My bad.
You're good. I do try and keep track of this. So whenever you see this coin down here, it's me. When it's up here, it's you.
Yeah. Like you've done this before. Got it.
Yeah. I try as much as I can. All right. I'll just go with you. Let's go stamina.
All right. I'll take it because I'm punting again. Yeah.
21.
Yeah. All right. I had 15, but I didn't. Again, that's another one where you look at the cards and there's nothing over. So I'm kind of getting a good sense of like where there might be opportunity and where you might, and realizing you might pull a crappy card too, but like, you know, yeah. All right. I'll go skill.
Accept.
Oh,
18.
we got tie bank.
Hey, how do you tie on 18s?
That's
awesome.
That's crazy.
All right, stays on you.
We will go aura.
Decline stamina.
Decline skill.
Go total.
I fucked 60. Up. I played that so poorly. 55.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Whew. All right, so I get one of that, and then what was that? 2 skill? What did we just go on there? Yeah, help.
We tied on skill on the 20, right? Oh no, wait. We went total on this one and I blew it. It was 55.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Cool.
Got me. All right. And then my attack. I attack Aura.
Let's go skill.
Decline stamina.
I'll take it.
23.
24.
Woo! Boy. 1, 2, 3. Hachi mama. No, Dwayne. Okay. Okay. Your attack.
Let's go skill.
Accept.
Ah, shit. I was hoping you weren't going to accept. I blew it.
23.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. I was hoping you were
Oh.
going to go because if you went aura, I'd accept. If you went stamina, I'd decline. So I was trying to like play in and get you to move it, you know?
Dude, wasting that fairy. That's the one thing that I've been worried about is that damn fairy coming out. Woo!
Yeah. I blew it. I was like, because like my worry is like if I started on aura. So tell me about this real quick as we go through it. So if I started on aura with 4 and you decline, then I only have a 22 and a 21 left. So the thinking was I play the 22 and I decline, or you go 24 and I accept. So the thinking was like I played like the middle number, hoping that you would decline, and then I would be pretty safe, right?
Mm-hmm. So the way that your score is right now, if you call skill, I don't care what my card says, I'm accepting it because unless I have a 24 or a 25 in aura or stamina, remember how I said I want to try and avoid those things sometimes? You just said skill, so I'm like, cool, I'm in. Let's go. Because you only have 2 skill.
Oh, so like, got it. So like the downside, if I had said like stamina or aura, I should have tried to get you to say skill for me to decline in some way because the way it works in stamina and aura, I have 5, so you're trying to avoid those numbers, and plus you have 6 down there, so you're playing for the win there. Oh, I get it. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yep.
The scoring makes sense.
Right.
Got it.
And it is my attack. I have my card here. I attack stamina.
So you have 2 in stamina and I have 5 in stamina, correct?
Correct.
Ooh. What's a high number in total considered? Like what's high, what's low? Like what's the baseline with that?
23 with these core decks is pretty high. 23, 24 is definitely high. 23 is like a gamble, in my opinion.
What about like the total, like the circle number?
68 and above.
Okay, so I'm gonna accept stamina.
Okay.
Right now and tell me if I played this wrong. So here's my number. I'm losing it because I have 18. But my thinking here is that I wasn't. Oh, sorry, I wasn't gonna win total. So I had 63 in total and wasn't gonna win. You weren't gonna accept aura where I had 24. In 21, I only had in skill. So if I just minimize damage and stamina where you have lower score, it helps my cost, right?
You got it.
Cool beans.
You got it. All right, that is now your attack, and we both still have TTTs left.
Cool.
So if you pull a rare plus or something like that, you can call a TTT.
Got it. All right.
Your
My turn?
Yep.
All right. Let's go with stamina.
TTT.
Oh, no. Oh, I got a 60.
86. No,
Oh,
you
86. I have 75. You have 86. Right, because it's like boosted. There you go. So you got me, right?
Yep.
Ball
I got
game?
you. That's the ball game. Good
Oh,
game. Yo, we went through some cards. That was great.
Yeah. Is that like longer than normal game? How long does a game usually last?
Yeah, they're usually like 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes if there's some good conversation, it can last up to 15. But yeah, there's some games, like I just played with Connor, I beat him in 7 cards.
Oh wow.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was like 7 cards or something like that. But it's because like we kept tying, and then the tie bank got so big, and then I called it a TTT, and I ended up just blasting them.
Yeah, it's like a skins game. It's basically like once you won one hole, it was like everything.
Yeah.
I need to like see now that I know this, so I can get so just to like recap on building a deck. I can get
Please.
a maximum of 15 rarity points, meaning I could have up to 15 points worth of rares in my deck. And then I have to then have 20 total cards. So the ideal deck has like, 15 basically. And this is why people will pay up probably for a more rare card, because then you can get that in your deck towards your 15. But it also it's almost like balancing like a skill in a video game where it's like you might have one that's worth 4, like the spectacular, I think you said was worth 4 or 5, if I recall. And so if I have a spectacular, it means I'm going to have less rares. Is there strategy that's been sort of decided upon of the best of like, hey, it's best to just spread across like, 1 3-point rarity and then the rest 2 points? Or like, what do people usually do?
So that's the big contention that happens every single time you're trying to build a deck is, do you run, let's say, a TTT card, right? So some people will just like run these cards inside of their deck, even though they're absolute garbage outside of a TTT. So a lot of the guys who have been winning, like Tom, for example, he wins a lot. There's a few other guys like Poker Pros, and of course Raul. He made this sort of famous. Was you want as many of your sort of mediocre cards, so like these lower tier 70 cards, to be your rare cards. So they run way more rares. So they'll do all rares and a very rare instead of running an epic and less rares. I think it's a good idea. That's what I did today against Connor, and it was a really good idea. I like it. It gives you more options and more percentages to win because you have 24s and 25s plus a high total.
Yeah. So like that makes sense. Like, because there's different strategies where it's like you could have that high upside, it's sort of like by including a lot of TTT cards, it's like you're giving yourself a lot of options to play as needed, but then also and that like almost keeps it in your back pocket if you're just like, hey, like I need like there's like what happened to you today. If there's a big tie bank, like, and you have, 5 cards in there that you could TTT, it just means that you could, you have a 1 in 4 shot, a 25% chance of pulling that, which means you have a 25% chance every single time of being able to say, I'm taking you to town on this one. Because like in my mind, as I'm still learning, I wasn't even thinking TTT. You reminded me, which is great, where you're like, hey, you still have that. But to your point, like I didn't TTT on like a rare card, and I could have on like the fairy, like for example. And so it's a good idea of like, even if you get one a game, giving yourself a 1 in 4, 1 in 3 shot of getting that, it just gives you options, which it's almost like in Jeopardy. I remember, I think it was James Holzhauer was the guy's name who was on Jeopardy. He just always did, he was a professional gambler, and he always like just daily doubled every single time. He went searching for the daily doubles. It would drive Jeopardy people nuts because instead of going straight down the category, he went over the board, and it was because he looked for them. And then when he found them, he always doubled because he figured the variability against his knowledge was like, chances are I get this, and if not, I can make up for daily double hunting somewhere else. And so I think like it's almost the same idea of like giving yourselves a 1 in 4 shot of pulling that TTT. It may hurt you throughout, but the actual variability of pulling it against, say, a tie when the tie bank is full or something, because let's face it, a lot of these numbers are very similar. Like we had like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 ties in this stream alone. Then if that tie bank gets up, you have that 1 in 4 shot. You're like, boom, I just won the game. You know when you pull it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that the more times that you can have a rare to lean on, that will beat all the cores. So I think if you are building a deck, you want to have a deck that can beat a 75. So your rare needs to at least be able to beat a 75. Because that's a black cat, that's a perfect Persian cat. Those are and you'll beat all top tier core cards with a 70, we'll say 76 plus on the total score. So this score in the red, because whenever you go total on a spectacular, rare, very rare, or epic like this, you always go to that red score here.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yep.
No, that's actually really helpful because I think that like what it does is so I love strategy games in general. First of all, that's actually one of the reasons I actually really dig that you put the booster pack thing in there, where it's kind of changing up the game because it adds a new element of dynamic of strategy and thinking to it, which changes the game. But like I like games like that in general because what they do is they let me think about the variability of like what my strategy is, and like you may have I actually love games like that. Like I played poker out of college to pay my bills. And like poker is one of those games where you could do the best in the world, but you could still lose. Like you'll still get busted. And that's what like Pixel Ball Battle Plan does, which I really like, is like you can be really smart in your builds, but like might just have some level of bad luck in a random number generator or whatever. This is very similar as a TCG. And I know all TCGs are like that in the sense that like you build based on a strategy. And I imagine at the highest level, if you're playing like Yu-Gi-Oh! Professionally or something like that, you probably even know your opponent's core strategies and how you want to play against them. So there's probably a little bit of things like that that you'll see. Have you ever gone to a compete and collect or played with someone on a stream or gone to a tournament and been surprised at the build they brought or been like, I didn't expect that?
Yeah, like everybody pretty much that isn't, I don't want to say like part of the core group, but like there's a lot of people that I'm like, man, I didn't even know that you played, and they came to Josh's tournament and they were not ready. They were not ready for an IJ Rob. They were not ready for Thought Wrong and me and Tom and Josh. Like they didn't even stand a chance. And it's because their deck builds were not even close to that top tier. We're calling it professional series because it takes a lot to get those cards, but at the same time, like once you have them, you smash this game.
Yeah. And now is there it'll be interesting to have like almost different like, and obviously it's Josh's tournament was big for the amount of turnout it had, but not like it wasn't like rooms like World Series of Poker.
Yeah. Right.
I wonder if there's a world where there's like almost, I mean, it's kind of honor system, but I mean we're fucking VEEFriends. We should have the honor system. I mean, it's kind of in the ethos of everything. I wonder if there's a world where there's like someone like me is like an amateur. And if I play well in that and figure it out, because like I tend to be good at strategy games and card games, it's just in my brain works that way. I figure out like the loopholes in a game immediately and the ways to do it. Like maybe at that point, it's like, okay, you're ready for the next level. And then there's like the senior tour, which is guys like you that like things you've said on this where it's like, even I wasn't paying attention to the score, for example. And that fundamentally may have cost me the game or was a critical mistake nonetheless. Like, I wonder if there's like almost divisions that could be had where people have like ranks against a spreadsheet where it's like I'm an amateur now, but if I show up a few times and I start to figure it out and I go spend some money online and do some builds, now I'm like, okay, now I have like, I no longer belong in the amateur rank and I should be playing at a higher level.
Yeah, there are definitely leagues that we've already done. They were 3-week leagues. We've done a couple different things where that has happened for sure. I like the idea. It's just we need to get more people to play the game, and that's the whole reason behind the podcast and trying to teach more people how to play is because there's not enough people playing the game. That has been my biggest criticism of this whole entire ecosystem is everybody likes to break the cards, collect the big boys, spend the money, but it means nothing if kids don't play the game. It means nothing if the cartoons don't catch. It just, none of it means anything if we don't make it bigger. And if people aren't playing the game, I think that's a huge void inside of this inside of the space. So that's why I wanted to get more people playing, because then you can have things like that, those circuits, and like almost like football leagues where you have this league and you do well for a while, then you bump, and then you end up becoming into the Premier League.
I have an idea that's random that I'm sure I will probably not follow through on. Like, it's one of those things where it's like ideas versus execution. But you know what's an interesting thought is having almost a Web3 game Olympics type thing where it's like, look at like what the Web3 games are. And it's like, people have to be like well-rounded, right, to win. It's almost like, I'm thinking of like college with the beer Olympics where there's like beer pong and flip cup and all the different games and you saw who won what. But this doesn't involve binge drinking. I guess it could, but it doesn't. But like the idea of like compete and collect being one of the things, right? And you're like almost like, so at the CrossFit games each year, which is like, I used to be into CrossFit, it's like they'll do like all sorts of different domains of like, some are based on speed, some are based on stamina, some are based on strength. And they have like a dozen things to find the most well-rounded best athlete. And you get points based on finishing. It would be super interesting if they're like, all right, you're going to play battle plan and you play 5 rounds and your best score, best finish goes against it. So if you win 15 there, great. That's going to be tied for first, get you first place points. And then you could do like compete and collect in another. And I wonder if there's like a fun Web3 collaborative game, something in Pudgy World, something like that would be really cool if you had different stations that people played on, got an official score with official like posters, and like you could have a podium of like who is the best actual Web3 gamer, you know?
I love the idea. I love the idea. We were playing a game. Dale and I were playing a game. I bring up Dale a lot because he and I mess around on Twitch streams a lot, and we'll just play random games together. A lot of it's compete and collect, but some of it's like this Web3 game. And he was having us play a game where you're like, you type out the letter, like they give you 3 letters, and then you have to type out the rest of it. Like you have to make up a word, and then it rows somebody like a rowboat to a finish line. And the more words that you guess, obviously, and the faster you guess, the faster your boat goes. So there's like a competition. But to play the game, you had to have an NFT. It was token gated. But I think that there's something there. I've actually talked to Vayner Sports Pass about having a like a golf outing, like a in real life golf outing against other projects. So against other brands inside of the space, be like, okay, because we're like the sports NFT, with sports things and thingdoms and all of those guys. We've sort of kind of niched out that spot. And I'm like, dude, there's tons of people out there that are playing golf. And it would be a cool in real life event. You could even put it around some other bigger event because people are already going to be there, and do a golf outing. And then do like the ticketing with NFTs and all that stuff. But there could be mini games inside of there. Yeah, I've thought about that too. I think that there's so much room for collaboration between the brands inside of the space that is just untapped to a certain extent. It just doesn't happen enough.
It's funny you say that too. One of the first things we did after we founded DGen Network in like July of 2021 or June of 2021, a couple months later, the football season started. We did a fantasy football draft, and we had a Gutter Cat team, at the time, a Royal Society of Player team, a DGen team, a Board Ape team. Like we had all these different teams, and like it got communities involved. There's a VEEFriends team. Like we asked Big Eric if we could do VEEFriends, and he was like, I mean, motherfucker, like he was into it, like, and so it's like, and he just delegated a team, but it was like, that sort of thing is really fun because there is that identity, like a sports team with a community. It's funny when I talked about like the Olympics, I was thinking of crowning an individual, but to your point, like you could have people representing like an individual brand that they are like strongly tied to, and have like the best of the best saying like, do your best to represent us and show up what we can do. And there's something to that, especially like golf. Like I used to actually be not good at golf, but I was the guy who could golf. On a good day, it was 87. On a bad day, it was 97, right? It was like just one of those days where there's a lot of variability. Rarely got really like managed to break 100 regularly, but it's like maybe it was 99. And but then I'd have a day where I'd like light it up and be like, oh man, I shot 85. That's nuts. It was just on fire. Now I play like once a year. But there's something about golf outings that are not just fun for competitive nature, but they're also like one of the best team building things with those people you're with. Because, whether you drink or not, like a couple of beers or whatever, a couple of cigars, whatever, if you're into that sort of thing, just, trading shots. And like, one of the things I like love is team dynamic games like a scramble, because then instead of being competitive or having a lot of pressure, everybody's just celebrating and high-fiving everybody. Like someone has a good chip or chips in, you go nuts and everybody remembers that and they tell the story for the rest of the day. And that person gets to be the hero of the day at that point. Or like, it's a cool, like, even when you play bad in a golf outing, you're like, oh man, Brian saved us with those 5 shots, man, or else it would have been even worse,
Yep, exactly. It's huge in the team building. And I think that because I do a lot of golf outings just for work in general, and being able to just shoot the shit with those guys for the 4 hours that you're on the course it just gives you a new perspective of that person and where they come from and what they're about and how they play golf. Because if they cheat at golf all the time, just watch them. Just be careful. Just be careful. They're
Oh,
kicking the wedge, and just saying.
that's such a good point. If someone's using the foot wedge a little too much, you're like, what's going on there? Or if you're, like it's one thing if like I've been in tournaments where they're like, hey, fluff rule. If you're in the rough and you're buried, it's fun. It's charity, like fluff rule. Fine, you know what I mean? And especially if it's a scramble, like then you get, unless you're drop scrambling, you're good. But to your point, like there is something to be said. Like I've had this conversation before with like people where I'm like weird in the sense that like one of the reasons like I don't cheat is because I'm so competitive. And I know that maybe this means I'm not a good athlete in the sense that athletes are always trying to get the edge, right? At the highest level. Like they're always a little bit of holding here, things like that. But people are like, they're like, did you cheat? I'm like, I don't cheat because I'm so competitive that I have zero pride of victory if I cheated. And it's almost like a selfish reason I don't cheat at things or like at golf or other things. It's like, I don't have, if I win or have a good score, but I know that I cheated, it means nothing to me. It's like, what's the point of winning then if you cheated? I'm not actually better than that other person, which might sound psycho, but it's actually how I operate.
Doesn't sound psycho to me, because if I win, I want to make sure I did it in the way that it gave like you the best chance to win, and I still beat you.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Like I don't need to like pull some bullshit or anything like that. Like, and so like, yeah, for me, it's like, that's like so important to me, not like doing things that are shady or whatever. I'm not going to look at your cards or whatever. It's like, cover your cards, whatever. But like, it's like, I don't see value in that. Like, because my pride to some degree is like, I didn't really win that game. I shouldn't have won that game. It's like, what am I even bragging about at that point? Like, I know internally that I didn't win the right way, and so it doesn't do anything. It diminishes it for me. I feel like I'm holding this secret.
Your ego peeks through in the most positive way possible.
Yeah, it's true. It's like I tell people, like, it's like one of the things, like, people are like, oh, you're so nice, you compliment other people. I'm like, I get genuine joy out of putting my friends on and helping people feel better and like telling them when they've done something well, not just because, and I always mean it. Like, I don't say it if I don't mean it. Like, I'm not a BSer, but like, I get that genuine joy, and it's almost this like selfish thing of how good I feel when I can make someone else feel good. And it's like the ego in a positive way, or the not cheating thing. It's like the ego in a way that it's like, it won't let me do it. It's like it shines through in that way.
You're the man, Steve. You're the man. Hey, dude, thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. Whenever you get that deck built up, we'll run it back. And yeah, I'm super excited. And also, too, guys, and I plug things all the time, but if you have not picked up the book, pick it up. Everything Token. I listened to it on my way to Cali a couple weeks ago, front to back. Loved it. It was like listening to your podcast because you narrate it. So if you do it on like an Audible, it's going to be Steve's voice. It's going to be Scott's voice. It's really cool. It also gives like a great 101 on NFTs and blockchain, but then also like dives into some 201 stuff. So it's good for anybody who's kind of been in the space or just new to the space too. So that's what I appreciated about it the most, is anybody sort of pick it up and glean some value from it. But is there anything else, Steve, that you want to get across at the moment?
No, appreciate the kind words. Like you said, if people pick up the Everything Token, that's the biggest thing. If you pick it up, tweet me so I can thank you personally. And then, that means a ton to me. So, and this is, like I said, this was fun. It's just hanging out with a friend, like playing a card game, which is what makes it so fun. Just having it, like, we would have this conversation if there were no cameras. So, you get to be all stoked. So I will build a deck and I will be back for more.
My man. All right, we'll run it back. We'll do it. Thank you again, Steve. And hey, guys, until next time, keep building those decks. Stay strong. Take care, everybody. All right, recording stopped. We're still live, but thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, brother. I'm going to jump off of here. Feel free to keep those cards. Those are yours to keep if you wish. So all good there. And yeah, have a great weekend.
Appreciate it, man. You too.
All right, bye now.